week, power is back on in parts of the Andover mobile home park destroyed by a tornado. Chuck Weber has more on the cleanup effort and the push to get residents back into a home.
1 week after the deadly tornado, the Golden Spur Mobile Home Park is officially back in business. Manager Dick Peckham says this temporary office is a big psychological boost.
Why, sure. Telephone, and we can begin to respond to the tenants a little bit better rather than helter-skelter from pagers and car phones and things like that.
But weeks, if not months, of hard work lies ahead. Heavy equipment operated by men and women from more than a dozen nearby towns and counties continue to clear debris. It all ends up here in a temporary landfill that's burning 24 hours a day. The best guess that anyone's been able to offer is that this temporary landfill will continue to burn for at least another week. After that, the plan calls for whatever's left over to be covered or moved out to a permanent landfill site nearby. In 2 to 3 weeks, some new mobile homes could move in here, and a handful of homes not destroyed last week got all utilities restored today. Chuck Weber, Eyewitness News, Andover.
A city official says most of the area west of Andover Road hit by the tornado is now cleared. The director of the Federal Emergency Management Agency will tour tornado damage in Oklahoma tomorrow. State officials have been urging FEMA to act quickly in declaring 6 northeast Oklahoma counties disaster areas. The declaration would clear the way for federal cleanup aid. FEMA has already declared Sedgwick, Butler, and Cowley counties in Kansas as disaster areas. In the weeks since the tornado struck, we've heard countless stories of terror and devastation. One Butler County man suffered the same destruction, but did not let it keep him from saving other people's lives. Kim Setti has the story of one man's actions that went above and beyond the call of duty.
The disaster last Friday night was more than many people could have imagined, and it required dedication from every available medical worker, even though one of those medical workers in Andover was a victim himself.
Property doesn't mean, after something like this, property doesn't mean anything. You're out to help people.
Chris Davis is a coordinator of the Butler County Emergency Medical Service. His home was destroyed that night, and his disabled daughter and her nurse trapped inside the basement.
Just right here, there's houses that aren't hardly even touched. So as I kept getting closer, I thought, maybe, and I saw it and I thought, oh God, I hope they're not dead.
Chris and fire officials managed to get the women out. They were in the far southeast corner of the basement, one of the only rooms not to sustain any damage. After that, Chris says he knew he had to get back to Andover to work.
I assumed there was nothing left, and I thought, there's no sense in even messing with that. I've got my family. That's really all that counts at this point. I can sit here and pull my hair out all night and be frantic, or I can go help somebody else.
And he ironically does not see his plight as bad.
We're lucky. We're real lucky. Nobody was hurt. I mean, like I said, property doesn't mean squat. I feel so deeply for the people of Andover that have lost loved ones and had people critically hurt. Past that, it doesn't make any difference anymore.
But lucky were the people also he helped Friday night. Kim Setti, Eyewitness News, Butler County.
And Davis's wife also volunteered her time in Andover last Friday. She is a nurse at Wesley Medical Center. Coming up next, a look at last week's tornadoes through the eyes of some amateur photographers. Hammond reports on the people behind the cameras and safety officials who say photographers need to take cover, not pictures.
The tornado tears through McConnell Air Force Base. The powerful twister rips off roofs, knocks down trees, and moves on to other targets. This is only one of the examples of videotape taken by an amateur photographer. Here, a stockbroker videotapes from Teradyne. He's in the shower when someone spots the tornado. He just happens to have a video recorder in his locker.
You can see the houses exploding and, going the roofs going up, large roofs out of barns, and in that film, it was pretty devastating, obviously. And when it hit the mobile home park, you could just see the air was cluttered.
You might say Duke Evans is an amateur meteorologist, too. He has taken classes in meteorology. And, well, growing up in Kansas helps, too. So he does know something about tornadoes. And with this one, the one that tore through Andover, on videotape, it looks closer than it really is. Duke says he kept his distance.
If it gets over Central, I'm running downstairs because there was a lot of steel in the building out at Teradyne.
In this day and age, when it seems almost everyone has a video camera, it's understandable why so many people get pictures of severe weather. But officials here at the Sedgwick County Disaster Management Division say getting pictures is one of the last things you should be doing when a tornado is headed your way.
When we issue a warning and tell the general public to take shelter, they need to take shelter. If they don't, they're going to be a statistic. It's just as simple as that.
Coslett says people who get out and videotape a tornado are just causing problems for authorities and are putting their own life in jeopardy.
You got people trapped. There's a possibility when you can't get the emergency equipment through that there's somebody in that wreckage that could have got out, could have been rescued and saved, who might lose their life.
If we'd taken down the basement, of course, no electricity, so there's no light.
Gene Thompson has a different story. He recorded some of the tornado, but by mistake. He started shooting some of the hail, saw the tornado, and made a beeline for the basement.
We decided it was time to get to the basement, so we dashed downstairs and into the basement. It was a good thing we did because everything we had was, the whole house was gone.
Gene took the camera downstairs with him. He didn't know it, but he left it rolling. You can't see it, but you can hear it hitting the house.
I think it's going right over us. It was heading right toward us. Here. What?
In all of the cases of amateur photographers getting pictures, luckily there were no injuries or deaths. But safety officials say we were lucky. Next time, officials say we may not be as fortunate. So it's better if everyone takes cover when threatening weather looms overhead. Linda Hammond, Eyewitness News, Wichita.
So it should come as no surprise that moments after the tornado struck, amateur photographers were on the telephone to our newsroom, willing to share their video of the twister with the rest of Kansas. We've put together some of the most dramatic footage of Mother Nature's fury in action.
A definite tornado. Man. Awesome. Oh, jeez.
This is going to be a very wide one. Let's check in once again further south.
What's it doing? Oh, I got the whole thing. Now, that's good, honey. Don't go any further closer.
Running back into
Oh,
the rain as
jeez.
the storm continues to move through this part.
Wow.
I've been trying to listen to officers down in the Hayesville area to get some more information on that tornado.
Honey, be careful.
It's going to be around 55th South and
Is it going away from us?
Officers are reporting maybe
Artie.
10 to 15 houses in Hayesville that have been damaged by the tornado.
Is it going away from us?
Saying that there's going to be damage in the area of 55th and Broadway and also 53rd Street South.
I sure hope you're right.
We do have reports of a little bit of damage now. A trailer, apparently at least 2 trailers were damaged on Ridge Road, a half mile from 49th Street South. This is basically
See, Merrill heading back. You had to report, Merrill? Okay, let's go back to Merrill again.
Okay, the latest report, the tornado is still on the ground.
If you got an interior closet, get down in it, shut the door, cover up with a mattress or something if you got it.
Come on, let's go, Leo. Come on!
Yeah, I think it's coming straight this way. Heather, you get in there. I'll be there in a minute.
20. So folks, southeast Wichita, this is your neighborhood. Moving out of the McConnell Air Force Base area into southeast Wichita around Army and Rock Road. The tornado is on the ground. And damage is occurring with this storm. This is a very dangerous storm.
There ain't no place to go. You can't run from one of them.
What's that say about human nature that we have so many videotapes of that? We want to remind you that we'll have more of those home videos tomorrow during our special from 8 to 10 tomorrow night on Eyewitness News. We'll continue our look at the role that amateur photographers do play in covering last week's storm when we return. To MasterCard, American Express, or Visa by calling 1-800-842-2200. Countless volunteers, as we said, are lending a hand to last Friday's storm victims. This afternoon, some Wichita high school students moved their classroom outside to join in the cleanup efforts. Lance West reports of their lessons of labor.
These Cape and Mount Carmel seniors are learning a valuable lesson. One of charity, not financial, but physical.
Got it.
115 students are donating their time, pitching in with tornado cleanup. The extra hands come as welcome relief to John and Geida Lee Morley. There's nothing left of their Sedgwick County home, but with these students' help, they will start again.
It makes me feel wonderful, and I feel great appreciative of what these boys and girls are doing. And you just can't hardly express words in your feelings for what they're doing for us. And I don't know, it seems like everybody is so sympathetic to us, and we all appreciate that very, very, very much.
The help is absolutely amazing. You can't say thanks enough. And people have been absolutely amazing to give themselves as well as their time. The young people that are out here now, I believe it's Cape and Mount Carmel, have just been tremendous, as well as everybody else. And truly, at this time, you can't say thanks enough.
For these Cape and seniors, a day of sweat and hard work never felt so good.
You just get a good feeling inside. I mean, to know that you're helping these people. I mean, because when we first got here, it was just big, and, you know, I mean, it didn't look real bad. It's kind of real ripped up and everything. But, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of neat because it just brings the whole class together. I mean, you can feel a lot of the class unity right now. That's why I like it. It's just kind of a neat feeling.
If my house had been struck by a tornado, I would just want somebody out there helping me. We're just trying to just be helpful and just do something good for somebody else who needs it.
That makes it feel good, you know. It's kind of a different pace, better than going to school. So, you know, just came out here and helped somebody.
Whatever the reasons, these students are making a difference, and it's one lesson they'll likely never forget. Lance West, Eyewitness News, Sedgwick County.
In fact, many of the students have already volunteered their services again for tomorrow. The people of a small North Dakota town feel particularly close to the residents of Andover. That story when we come back. 2 tornado continue to pour in, including some from unusual locations. Furniture, clothing, and household items are being collected at City Hall in Devil's Lake, North Dakota. Organizers hope to send a 40-foot semi-trailer to Andover next week. Spokeswoman Kathy Swain says she decided to take action after she saw the footage of the devastation on television. She began contacting people on Sunday. One day later, Devil's Lake adopted Andover under its Adopt a City program. Friendly folks everywhere. That's it for our special report tonight. Again, stay tuned tomorrow night for another and our final special report on the killer tornadoes of last week. For now, I'm Susan Peters. Have a good weekend.
Disposal, to the extent of his Iraqi power, his ambitions are vast to lead the Arabs to defy the West and to destroy Israel. How amazing that people in the secular press see exactly the plan that is going